Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding REM, Losing My Religion. Set enough, changed to set it up. Um, we've got a variance percent on this to the tune of 2.1%, which isn't all that much. And if we'd have went with the phrase only, we'd have got 0.7%. But I decided to give it the higher percent. All right, still impressive that it was caught. That's not very much. And as I've been saying, I think, maybe if you got a 25% variance on a song, some other people outside the Mandela Effect community might raise an eyebrow to it. All right. But we don't have that. We haven't even had 10% yet, right? Even on our older charts. And we had some higher percents on our older charts. So we'll see if we ever get anything that high, right? But so set enough, changed to set it up. And we've gotten the extractions to go through stock market, finance, genetics, medical, chemical, and we were going to do laboratories next, but I decided to run artificial intelligence next because for whatever reason, we haven't been getting artificial intelligence lately. I think we were getting it in technology once in a while and in random hits once in a while, and especially in the numbers, and it just hasn't been coming up lately. And I didn't really notice until I did. And kind of like some of the other stuff that isn't coming up, I decided to run it independently. And I wasn't sure. We were just going to see what was there and what wasn't there. But this actually goes through. This goes through. So I find that to be interesting. And so set enough changed to set it up. And if you cross off the S because it's still in set it up, you cross off the I because it's still in set it up. You cross off the E because it's still in set it up. You cross off the U because it's still in set it up. You're left with A, D, N, O, G, H, T, T, P, and that happened twice. So we brought A, D, N, O, G, H, T, T, P down twice. And the thing with this is, once it goes through, once you hit the overlap, unless we rearrange the letters, it's going to repeat itself. And we're not rearranging the letters right now. We got a nice quantum network suspect. So at this time, I don't see the need to rearrange the letters. That'd be a lot of work. And then I'd feel I had to do it every time. So we're going to try to avoid that if we can. So, all right. So we're going to start this right off. And by the way, before I even get started, disclaimer. On at least two of these, there is going to be some cerveza bug information. We don't believe in it. We think it's nonsense and overblown at best. And so any of that cerveza bug information, view it at your own discretion. I'll say that again. View any and all cerveza bug information at your own discretion. Not mine, not the news's, not anybody else's, at your discretion. All right? View it at your own discretion. Have I said that enough? But no, we're going to be clear on that. And it's a little late before I got a chance to do this, so it's kind of dark. So you bear with me. But if you start with ADN, you have an automatic driving network, and that deals with artificial intelligence driving vehicles. All right. All right. If you move on from that, you have AD, which ends up being artificial intelligence in advertising, and there's multiple sources on that. I'll provide the search. If you move on from that, you have DN, which ends up being DN, artificial intelligence computer science. And you also have DN is artificial intelligence developers in Nepal. All right. Oh, and DN is also Genosummer Developmental Network, DN, world's first machine learning algorithm to do autonomous programming for general purposes. And there's more. There's actually more there, but I'll provide that search. And if you move on from that, we didn't move on from that. Also, when I typed DN, I got artificial intelligence DNA analysis software, MIT technology. And the reason I went ahead and included that was because we actually have DNA in the search. It's actually ADN, but we could put those letters in any order we want, so it's in there. So, artificial intelligence DNA analysis software from MIT technology, and there's more. But I'll provide the search. We're going to move on to NOG, and NOG ends up being Advances in Artificial Intelligence, and it stands for, number of good classes. Give me 1 second, guys. I dropped my pen. Sorry about that, guys. I guess I just feel more comfortable with my pen in my hand when I'm doing this. I'm not sure why. So, all right. So, number of good classes. Advances in Artificial Intelligence, number of good classes is what NOG stands for. All right. If we move on from that, we get OGH, and OGH ends up being OGH, Awesome Mechanical Learning Frameworks. You also get OGH and Associates at Cambridge University, and they deal with artificial intelligence. All right, if you move on from that, you have GH, and GH winds up being artificial intelligence. GH GAND, GHAND, I believe that is, Dell Technologies. GH is also Logic for Programming Artificial Intelligence, and it's in there quite a bit, if I recall. I'll provide the link. And there's more. But I'll provide the search, and we're going to move on. I'm going to provide that search, guys. But we're going to move on to GHT, and GHT ends up being Advanced Intelligent Computing Theories and Applications, Generalized HOUGH, Transform. All right. So if you move on from that, you get HT, which ends up being Advances in Artificial Intelligence, 18th EPIA Conference on Artificial Intelligence. You also get HT Kung Publications, Computer Science and Machine Learning. And there's more. But I had to pick a point to stop. I'll provide the search and move on to TT. And TT ends up being TT Score, Trading Technologies, Artificial Intelligence, and Machine Learning. You also get Artificial Intelligence, Clean 3 Valued Logic. And there's more. But I'll provide that search, Clean 3 Valued Logic. And if I recall, there's like a big old like equation or something in there, and HT's in there quite a bit. All right, or no, not on the HT Kung publications. All right, computer science and machine learning. No. Oh, no. The key. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, guys. The clean 3 valued logic. Yes, that there is a TTs there a whole bunch. If I recall. So if you move on from that, you have HTT, and that ends up being Maya HTT, Engineering Solutions Provider, and they deal with artificial intelligence. Engineering Solutions Provider. All right. If we move on from that, then we have TTP, and TTP ends up being ttp.com, Fashion or Future, Artificial Intelligence as Part of Business Oh, and that's Dr. Simon Shakespeare's blog. All right. And that's one of the disclaimer. And I didn't write the other one down, but that you will see the information that you need to view at your own discretion there. All right. So if we move on from that, just a minute, guy. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. All right. If you move on from TTP, you get TPA, which is AI changing the TPA, and that is Stop Loss Insurance Brokers Incorporated. TPA is also Health Joy for third-party administrators. TPA is also Advances in Artificial Intelligence Overexpressed TPA. And there's more, but I'll provide those links, or that link, and we're in the overlap now, and we're going to move on to PA, which ends up being Artificial Intelligence Real Value PA Consulting. You also get top AI companies in Pennsylvania. You also get best AI or artificial intelligence colleges in Pennsylvania, and there's more. But we're gonna move on to PAD, and PAD ends up being AI Power's new PAD blood test. So artificial intelligence blood test. Not so sure what I think of that either. But that gets you through going forward. We're past the overlap now, and it's going to start to repeat. And now we're going to come back. And if you're coming back, you start with PT, and that ends up being PT, Artificial Intelligence Conferences, Philosophy and Theory of Artificial Intelligence. And there's multiple sources on that. You also get PT, Artificial Intelligence Statistic and Dynamic Application, Security Testing Tool. All right. And I think I mentioned we're coming back now. And if you move on from that, you got PTT, which ends up being PTT Public Company Limited, Espresso, Electricity Value Chains, Robotics, and Artificial Intelligence. And there's multiple sources for that that they can hit. All right. We move on from that. You get TTH, which ends up being Orbograph TTH, latest technology news, and that deals with artificial intelligence. All right, if you move on from that, you get HG, which ends up being Artificial Intelligence Archives, HG Insights. You also get HG Capital, Impact on Evolution of Tax and Accounting. So you got artificial intelligence impact on evolution of taxes and accounting. If you move on from that, you get HGO, which ends up being Advances in Artificial Intelligence and its Applications. And HGO is there. Not sure what, right, this offhand. But if you move on from that, you get ND. And ND ends up being, I didn't get... I skipped ND because when I typed it, I got some stuff, but I did not get what I was looking for, obviously. So I typed in University of North Dakota because they can hit anything in North Dakota, and this University of North Dakota is really suspecty. And I get University of North Dakota Studies in Advanced Modeling and Simulation, Artificial Intelligence, Algorithms, database systems, and more. But I'll provide that. I believe I provide that link. And once again, we highlighted them because there they are again in artificial intelligence. All right. So if we move on from that, we get NPA. So we're in the overlap now. or NDA, excuse me. We're in the overlap now. And artificial intelligence beats lawyers in NDA review accuracy. And there's actually a statistic there, a little chart that shows you that. I think it was like 84% for the lawyers and 91% for the artificial intelligence. All right, if you move on from that, you got DA. And this one I found interesting. How about AIDA, world's first artificial intelligent artist who is almost human? And it looks like a female. A robot body, but a female head and torso. So that's kind of an interesting one. You also got, or no, that's DA. If you move on from that, you got DAP, and that ends up being artificial intelligence and pharma. What's next? DAP. And you also get DAP, Microsoft, uh, Microsoft sign MOV on big data, artificial intelligence training for policymakers. All right. And that gets you through going forwards and backwards in our new category, apparently, artificial intelligence. So I guess we should have done that a while ago. But I kind of didn't notice offhand that we quit getting that quite a bit. We had that all the time. Phoenix probably remembers we got artificial intelligence on everything. And then suddenly we didn't. Why? Well, the algorithms changed. So, how do you remedy that? You run it specifically. And I can't guarantee they're going to go through forwards and backwards every time, but they sure did here. So we will run that, you know, we'll run it with South America as well when we get back to that. And we'll run it hereafter and see if it goes forwards and backwards through that category. Maybe that is a category that it runs. I think it might be. I very well think it might be. And I don't know why we didn't think to do that before, but we didn't. Moment. All right, sorry about that. But so, anyways, that'll be our new category. We'll run it, and we'll run it in the numbers too. I have a feeling we're going to get a little bit more with the numbers than we did with the letters. Just saying. That's my feeling. That's my gut. That's what my gut's telling me. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So, anyway, that's going to be it for this one. Laboratories will be next, then research groups, followed by technology and random. And then we'll run translations, see what's there and what isn't there. And then we'll convert this all into numbers and go again. Sorry it's not coming out as fast as I'd like, but hopefully we can remedy that in the near future. So, for now, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down when appropriate. By the way, if you're still with me and you get anything out of these videos, please thumb up. It does me good to see that when the trolls come out, there's actually more thumbs up than they can thumb me down. And by the way, whoever's still with me, I wanted to mention, like, if any of the trolls happen to still be with me, I've gotten some comments, "You're stupid, you're an idiot," that get filtered in the potential spam and held for review. And that, I'm not gonna put those through. And I thought about it at first, but that just sounds like a 5-year-old that just lost an argument and didn't know what to say. And then you're stupid. If you give me something that I can think about, and somebody not long ago told me that the Matrix tricks me into thinking there's a code, and I actually thought about that because they made an argument, and I'm not knocking their argument. That's what they think. But after I thought about it, I had to think, well, the Matrix would be a code. So it ain't gonna. I mean, it might trick me into thinking there's a code, but there's definitely a code if it's a matrix. So I mean, I have a lot of evidence here, so I couldn't subscribe to that, but I thought about it. So I'll think about a valid argument, but I'm not going to think about you're stupid or you're an idiot because there's nothing to think about. You didn't give me anything to think about. You just called me an arbitrary name. So, that doesn't do much for me for thinking. So, you know, I'm willing to listen to arguments, but I'm not willing to think about, oh, you're stupid or you're an idiot. Or, as one person put it, you're like a robot that chats. So, yeah, nothing to think about there. So, if anybody has an argument as to this stuff, by all means, present it and I'll think about it. I'll kick it around. I really will if it's a valid argument or something I can even think about. I mean, like I keep saying, somebody's welcome to disagree. You can argue why this stuff is in here, but you can't argue that it's in here because we can prove it. The only thing left to argue is why. Maybe somebody thinks it's a coincidence. We don't, and I know some of our viewers don't, but maybe somebody else does, or maybe someone else thinks it's in there for a different reason. I don't know. So you can argue why it's in there, but you can't argue that it's in there. All right. So, and thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching, guys. Laboratory's next. Within the coming few days, I will try to have that out. And I think that's all I needed to touch on. So for now, you guys have a great rest of your evening.